That's enough banjo. I think we're live. Talk, John. Let's see if I can see your audio on OBS.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's go. All right. Now I got to get my chat back up. All right, here we go. Sorry about the 1 minute delay. My mouse stopped clicking, and I freaked out. I was freaking. I called the editor, cussing up a storm. I called him a scallywag. What's up, you motherfathers? It is time for some Monday Night Football. Me and John are here to talk about it. I hope you watched my YouTube video. I thought it was a pretty solid one today. If you haven't, there's still time. Okay, John, let's go. You start. You're the Showdown guru of football. So drop that wisdom on me.
Oh, fuck, I don't know if I can live up to that hype. But, hey, what's up, guys? Okay, so there's a couple, injury situations to monitor right now. I think Saubert's going to play, it sounds like. But I think Dulcich, who's activated and is also going to play this week, has probably a better passing game role. He was, better in the preseason. They drafted him out of UCLA to be a pass-catching tight end. Whereas I think Saubert's going to be a blocking tight end, and that happens to get targeted because he's, on the field a lot. And the reason Alberto couldn't keep the role, even though he's a big target and should be good in passing game, is because he's a fucking terrible football player and can't block. And so that's why Saubert was getting run. So I actually think there's a pretty good chance Dulcich gets more of the passing game work than Saubert, even if Saubert's on the field more. Now Dulcich is a rookie tight end, playing his first start in the NFL, and historically that's a pretty shit role. So don't go all in on this dude, but he has an opportunity to have some design plays for him and be a difference maker at $200. So he's someone I would put in my pool. I'm going to play.
Hey, on that note, real quick, everybody, I said, hey, John, you got a couple good nuggets for me to talk about on my YouTube video today. These are the kind of gold that I was hoping for. He didn't say anything. So on the YouTube show, I definitely was hyping up Beck instead of Dulcich. So I'm just going to blame John for that, for not sharing them. Did this news just break today that he's activated or something?
I just started reading about it today. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if the plan was always for him to come along, or actually he may have been activated last week and got one target. I can't remember, but the plan is for him to play a bigger role this week.
All right. What was the other injury? I mean, Keenan Allen's obviously out.
Yep. So the other Q.
So are you telling me that he fixed this here on Run the Sims just because of you, where he put the kicker's points over here?
I don't know that it's specifically because of me, but I bitched about it a lot, along with the ability to change sack rate and things like that. Yep. So I don't know that it's me specifically, but sure, I'll take credit. What the fuck?
I mean, he watches our shit. There's no doubt about it.
But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you can do that now, though. It's really fun, actually, to see how you can make a more aggressive scheme, or you just put in your kicker's projected points and it changes that. So I actually didn't like where their projections were, and I bumped up McManus, and I think I kept Hopkins where he was.
6.8 does seem rather low.
Yeah, I bumped up McManus to 8.1, and I kept Hopkins at, I think actually I moved him to 7.1 from 7. I don't know why I moved him from 7.1 to 7, but I did. So yeah, that was the change I made to Hopkins. I think generally a lower score on the Chargers player, or the Chargers kicker is right. Even though they're the higher projected scoring team, because they're such an aggressive team.
Hey, real quick, just because they're asking questions about what you were just talking about, Bill says Dulcich over Beck is a punt receiving option then? Definitely, Bill. I think that there's no question about that. And then Mr. Petrino Jr., what's Beck's ownership and what's Dulcich's steam doing?
I don't know that Dulcich is necessarily going to get steamed. Let me see what I'm guessing. I had him almost projected for nothing when I ran it earlier. Dulcich. Yeah, I'm going to guess I had him for nothing. Let's see, Dulcich. I had him projected for 1.2% ownership in the flex and 0.1 in the captain. That's not going to be right.
What was Beck?
I had Beck probably pretty similar. 0.65 in the flex and nothing in the captain.
All right, let's run the Sims. What's up, Brian?
Let me check another site really quickly.
Delbert says, while you're checking that, kind of weird to say this, but I'm kind of excited to see the game. Maybe the Broncos everyone expected to see this season. Delbert, that's going to be my narrative tonight, is that the Broncos actually show up and play like the team that everybody thought they'd be. It's not a lot of reason to think that, but I do think it is a game script that will be different, and I will be running a lot of 4-2 and 5-1 Bronco stacks just to be different. I don't really think it's a well-thought-out play. Well, it's well-thought-out in the sense that it's going to be very different, but it's not very well thought out based on what the fuck we've seen from the Broncos this year.
No, I mean, just to like touch on that point, I think that's like a pretty fair like way to play this because the field definitely will play heavier on the Chargers side. So, like, I mean, we've seen the Denver be like the least efficient team in the red zone, but they fucking got there, right?
Yep.
And just because they can't get it done, like that's some touchdown variance shit. And to say like just because it hasn't happened in the first 5 games, it's not going to happen tonight feels a little short-sighted. Like, yeah, they may just be bad, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Let me tell you about my Tom Brady stacks yesterday, right? I have him stacked, and I played a lot of Cameron Brate because I just know he loves to throw to Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate had 2 wide-open touchdowns in the end zone. The fucking linebackers just got their fingertips on.
Right through his hands.
Like, just got it on there. So he literally could have had 2 touchdowns yesterday, and I don't know if that's a slate breaker, but, like, you know, now you're looking at 16 points from a punt tight end, and Brady gets 2 more touchdowns. Because he still threw the one to Fournette on a different drive. I mean, now all of a sudden, those lineups are super live because I had Jefferson and Chase everywhere in my other lineups as my pay-up options because I could afford them because I fucking punted with Brate. That is like the in-game variance that just will fucking take the wind right out of your sails.
Yeah, there were quite a few like breaking points in the games yesterday where things could have gone very different had like plays been made, you know, butterfly effect type shit, because games would have just either sped up or whatever, or not sped up because of plays that were made. Yesterday was a slate where I think if you play it again, we get like different outcomes.
Yep. Kendrick Bourne doesn't die and his backup comes in and becomes the slate breaker. Is that what you're talking about?
there's so many things like that. Yeah, it was just a weird slate the way it played out. I mean, I guess like I say that in hindsight because I got my ass handed to me, but whatever. And so to answer the Dulcich question, like a site that has more accurate updated ownership than when I ran it earlier today has him at 8.4% owned in the flex.
That's so weird because Run the Sims is notoriously conservative with their ownership. They have him at 12.
Yeah, I mean,
so it seems like to me he's definitely getting steamed. I would bet he finishes closer to 20 than he does to 8. That's
probably fair because I'm playing 20%. So to the extent I'm an everyman, let's do it.
I mean, to me, he sounds like a great play to play in a $100 single entry, but I just feel like in a single entry, he might even be above 20%.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the same projection, raw point projection as Saubert now.
Can I go make one real quick? Now I got to go make a lineup.
Oh no, he's a little bit less. I lied, but still.
Because if I put him in there, I can fucking. Then I can go stack all of the Broncos that I want, all the stud Broncos, and then run it back with the 2 Chargers I want, right?
So you know what you could do, and I'm not going to do this because I don't know, I'm just not going to. But an option is to basically mimic last night's Showdown winner, which was a $200 fucking flyer tight end in the captain, which allowed you to get. It was Ferguson was a solo shipper in the 500K last night. For Jake Ferguson captain, and then you could fit in all the studs. It was like Zeke, Lamb. I can't remember what the rest of the fucking lineup was, but you were able to fit in all the studs.
I could have swore at the start of the year you said that shit never hits though.
It fucking doesn't because it funnels you into like a very specific construction.
How big was the train?
0. It was a solo shipper.
Wow.
And the reason I think
for $1 million?
For 500K, it was it was a smaller version because it was Sunday Night Showdown.
Oh, I didn't know they shrunk it on Sundays.
Yeah, they don't do Millie Makers because
that shows you how fucking little I play in them, Bob.
But anyways, the dude that shipped solo, Ferguson was his $200 captain, but I think the reason he was a solo, I'm guessing the exact same line with Hendershot as the captain was probably split up both ways. But I think everyone, including myself, was projecting Hendershot as the $200 tight end option to replace Schultz, not Ferguson.
That guy. All right, are you ready for this lineup for a single entry? A 5-1 Broncos, okay, onslaught. Only Charger I'm running it back with is Herbert. And here's even grosser, Russell Wilson at captain.
I'm just not sure how that gets there.
Oh, I do. 35-7 Broncos. That's how it gets there.
Yeah, but how is Herbert your only Charger?
Because he just kind of passes it around to everybody. And, you know, like the one touchdowns to a fucking scrub. And then, it's a whole bunch of, 60, 70 yards to 7 different receivers.
I think one of the cheap receivers would have to get there at that point. Like if you tell me Carter gets 60 or 70 yards, he's probably optimal in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to play.
I think you need Herbert. I think you need a 4-2 in that situation. I'm fine with a 4-2. I'm not good with I'm fine with 5-1s. I'm just not good with a 5-1 where your quarterback is your 1. I just don't think. I think that's a super narrow range of outcomes.
Okay.
Speaking of narrow range of outcomes, I was talking with right, dude. I'm working on my transitions. I'm gonna be like a really good host here. But anyways, I was talking with Mike in Discord here, and he sent me a build earlier with Boone captain and then all Chargers, and I kind of poo-pooed it at first, and then I've been running Sims most of the afternoon, and like variations of that fucking lineup appear way too often in the sim for me to be comfortable with it, and I can't really explain why. But yeah, Boone Captain 5 Chargers is pretty interesting, at least as far as it
Boone.
appears in my sense.
I mean, what's Boone's price that he's so? I mean, he's 4,800.
Oh man, I feel like we gotten so sidetracked because here are my notes. Here, my second thing in my notes. I skipped over my first thing in my notes. I'm making notes now for our show. Right, I've got Mike Boone over Melvin Gordon.
Oh fuck, that doesn't work. God damn it. Okay, I want to mess around with this in a little bit. Now we're getting excited. Okay, let's get to some questions real quick.
Hang on, are you not even going to respond to my point number 2 of Mike Boone over Melvin Gordon?
I didn't even fucking listen, if you want to know the truth. I was too busy trying to make this lineup work. All right, Mike Boone, explain that to me, over Melvin Gordon?
Yeah, I think Melvin Gordon's dusty as fuck, and that's the other injury I wanted to talk about. He got on the injury report on Saturday with like a neck injury that I guess has been plaguing him for a little while.
Yep.
It sounds like he's going to play through it, but I mean, he already sucked and like was ready to get benched as soon as he fumbles. So I actually like Boone quite a bit. And then as much as I hate it, Latavius Murray is going to be active. And if anyone can fat fall into the end zone a couple times, Latavius Murray can fat fall into the end zone a couple times.
I think I might have the answer here. Oh, shit.
Is Latavius Murray in that lineup?
Hold on. Latavius Murray, no.
I need you to listen to what I say.
I'm not. I'm sorry, I can't. You know, that's such a myth that humans can multitask, okay? You can either have me listen to you or have me build in the lineup you're talking about. You can't have them both, Bob.
Okay, well, I just want you to listen to me.
Okay. If you see me looking down at my phone, just know I'm not listening. I mean, I'm listening, but I'm not listening.
Melvin Gordon is dusty and fumbles and has neck injury. If he drops the ball once, his ass is going to sit on the bench. I still think there's a chance he like loses a fair amount of work to both Boone and Latavius Murray. And I said, if anyone can fat fall into the end zone twice, it's Latavius. So,
to be honest, I don't even know what kind of running back Mike Boone is. Is he not? I mean, that name Mike Boone just sounds like a fucking rumbler.
I mean, initially he was working in and passing down work before Javonte died. And that's like primarily what he was doing with Melvin taking the 1 and 2 role. But I think since Melvin sucks, there's like a chance Boone will just be more involved. Boone looked way more explosive against the Colts.
So not Melvin is what we're going with.
I am playing like 5% Melvin, I think. So
but
like, feel free to captain.
And a single entry, a way to get different is to get the fuck off of Melvin. So get the fuck out of here, Melvin. You get out of here. So
I'm not playing Melvin hardly at all in my 150s.
Let's go put Boone in that lineup. Oh my God, I just hit the nuts. It fucking makes the nuts lineup. It makes the it's so the nuts. It's exactly 50,000. Exactly 50,000. I'm doing this. I am putting this lineup 100% in all of my single entries. 2 Chargers.
Right, who's the captain at least?
Russell.
Oh,
dude, you can say that. He's going. Look, you are going off of what he has been doing. I am going off a narrative that no one's going to want to play him.
All right, so you got Russ. That means you have to have 2 pass catchers.
Yep, I got his number 1 pass catcher and his punt pass catcher. I mean, fuck, just figure it out, right? I've got Dulcich, I've got Sutton, I've got Boone, and then I'm running it back with Herbert and Williams.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so my number 1 point on my list, since I'm making notes for our show, is that Big Mike actually might get shut down today. I know everyone's talking about it because Surtan's covering him, and that's like a narrative that's pretty popular out in the industry.
Yep.
But I think that's like a narrative for a reason. That dude has shut down all sorts of number ones. And so I'm actually like pretty low on Williams. I've dropped his projection a couple points in everything I've been running. And I've bumped up Palmer's like as the reciprocal, right? So if the number 1 gets jammed up, the thought is like a lot of that work goes to number 2. So I bumped up Palmer quite a bit. So yeah, I don't like Big Mike a lot. Can you fit Eckler in that lineup?
Fuck, I think I'm gonna be like $200 short. What's Eckler? Oh. Yeah, no, I'm 800 short. Yeah, I didn't even think about Eckler. Man. So wait, I could take Sutton down to Judy and it works.
Yeah, I like that.
So run it Russ Wilson, Boone, Dulcich, Judy, and then run it back with Eckler and Herbert.
Yeah, I mean personally, I want nothing fucking to do with Judy, but I'm sorry, with Russ and the captain. I prefer Judy in the captain in that lineup, or Sutton in the captain. I prefer a pass catcher in the captain almost always over a quarterback.
I can put Herbert in the captain.
What?
I can put Herbert in the captain spot.
I mean, Herbert's fine in the captain. I prefer him over Russ, but I prefer a pass catcher over both of them.
All right, so what do you want to do? Okay, this is terrible TV. Let's get to some
Let's
questions.
do this after.
Yeah. We'll fucking curse each other later. All right, I'm going to get to some questions.
Get
your, oh,
Aaron.
my God,
Dude,
there's like
Aaron
500 questions, and they're listening to us argue. Ventrini, thinking about a balanced 3-for-3 build with a balanced game script. Each team's played one close score. Game thoughts. I'll go ahead and say this. I never play 3-3s. I just feel like, I mean, right there, I think the number is 40%, between 40 or 50%. Uh-oh. Are you still there? Okay, so I was getting the thinking bar on the screen. My thinking, I've always seen that I think it's somewhere between 40 to 50% of lineups play 3-3 builds. So I tend to hardly ever play them just because that right there gets me off like different than, a good 40 to 50% of the lineups. What say you, John?
Yeah, I don't just like hard kill 3-3 lineups, but I do pretty heavy limit them in my builds or my 150 sets. I think when I've like played around with trying to project dupes better than just like the straight, dirty way we've talked about before. And one of the ways I think I would do it is 3-3s would naturally get a higher bump. I think they just get rostered at a higher percentage. So like for that reason, I tend not to play them. And I think if you do play them, you should be like playing more unique 3-3s, even more so than a normal lineup.
All right, I got the nuts for you. You ready? You're gonna be fucking pumped. You're gonna want to play this in like the 44-44 tonight. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I don't think I'm supposed to be talking about lineup, so this is not a lineup. But okay. Actually, I won't say one of the names. So Sutton is the captain.
Yep, I like that.
Boone and Russ Wilson.
Okay.
Okay. Eckler and Herbert is the run back. And then that one punt at $200.
Yeah, I think I've got that lineup already.
Yeah, dude, I love that one. make sure not to put it in all the big single entries. I'm going to probably put that in the 100,
right.
the 50.
I won't put that in my single entry.
Same with all you motherfathers. Listen, all 35 of you right now, you motherfathers.
No, that's like a really good lineup. I like that lineup.
God, I love that lineup. Fuck, I honest to God, I didn't even want to play tonight. That's why we got to stop doing these fucking streams. They get me so excited for the games. I'm like, yeah, fuck that game, and then we start talking. I'm like, yes, this game. Okay, Woody says.
I mean, there's some edge to be had here, I think.
All right, Woody says the Broncos suck. Woody, you are absolutely right. The Broncos suck. That's why I'm playing 4 Broncos to 2 Chargers. Deal with it, Bob. Aaron, what about the LA Chargers finally showing up? I mean, I think the Chargers are probably going to whoop their ass. If you gun to my head, I have to pick or someone dies. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. If I was, betting more than DFS or outside of DFS, I'd be betting the -4.5 side of this one. So,
man, I just submitted my lineup. Fuck you, John. I don't mean that. That's the Topo Chico talking. I apologize. Okay.
Nice walk.
Yeah, this is the same. Hey, never forget, this is the same. Hey, who ended up getting more targets from our bet Sunday? Did you see?
I don't know. Let's check.
Duvernay didn't seem like he got any passes, so I feel pretty confident I won.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did actually because hang on, I'll check this when we get off.
Okay, Broncos on a long break since last game was last Thursday night. Look how that helped the Colts on Sunday. The Colts are another world of bad, but I don't know. That seems like a weak comparison, although it is a comparison.
No, I mean, extended time off is a definite thing in the NFL. A short week, you see continually short week games are never the same for the team coming off like a Sunday slog or whatever. They're always hungover. It's hard to come back off 4 days rest. Yep. So to be able to have 10 days is nice.
Andrew says, John, can you see Denver Rolls script? Thank you for the other sims you've provided.
Yeah, you want me to see what Denver Rolls looks like? Let me go back to my inputs because I've got all my inputs saved.
You want me to put them in for the screen for everybody to see?
Well, I've got all my personal inputs in terms of like where I think target shares actually
all
going.
The nerdy numbers. All right, while you're doing that,
so
go ahead.
Let me ask you, when you say Denver rolls, what do you think? Like Denver puts up 27 and the Chargers like are held pretty low scoring, or are you talking like they just win in a shootout? I guess rolls mean
I would say rolls is by 10 or more. I'd say like 27-17 or something like that. I mean, I assume that's what he means. By the time he answers it, he'll be way down the chat.
That's fair. Yeah.
Bill, I think the Broncos might actually score some points tonight. Who's the best Denver captain in a Broncos 4-2 lineup? Well, Bill, it just so happens that you probably typed this question before you heard me and John get into a combative argument. But it sounds like John has convinced me, and I'm now on his side, that if you're going to go with a 4-2 Broncos stack, you probably want a pass catcher at the captain spot.
I think you could also play Boone.
I thought you were going to say Russell Wilson. I was going to come through the screen.
No. But you can play Boone captain. I think that's pretty viable too.
All right. K-Gold in the house. So if you are going with the Broncos heavy script, are you playing playing RBs, expecting them to have a decent lead?
Yeah, I think running backs have like a higher path to success generally in whatever team is going to roll side. I mean, that's just naturally kind of how the game flow works, right? But yeah, I think they're like both running backs have pretty good roles here. So one thing that's pretty interesting, like in lineups where I'm not captaining Eckler or really not playing Eckler, I've played Josh Kelly a little bit. He's so fucking expensive that he's a god awful play, but he is getting like more involved, like to spell Eckler, and he's pretty much the guy that spells Eckler. And like we saw him get involved in red zone work, so he like has an opportunity to be like a scorer. But he like directly is negative off Eckler. So if I'm not playing Eckler, I think I kind of like paying up for Kelly, even though he's like so expensive as to be bad.
Hey, just so you know, we call that the Chris Kirk at 9,900 rule. You need to call it by its proper name. No one wants to play him because he's 9,900 and he's Chris Kirk. Hey, that's exactly why I want to play him.
Yeah, I think that's like 6,800 Josh Kelly is like that exact thing.
Exactly right. That's what it is. Anytime a guy is overpriced, that's called the Chris Kirk at 9,900 rule.
But what he's very good at is blitz blocking, and to the extent we think that the Denver Broncos will like blitz more, and like they're a pretty like decent pass rush defense, like Kelly could be involved more to be the blocking running back there.
You better just pray Boone gets there after I just put him in my big lineup. Okay. Nick says DJ's always killing mother fathers. Hey. That's only in cash lineups, Nick. You know this. I built a lineup for the same 500K, but had a different hinder shot. The same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The lineup that won last night. He's talking about the hinder shot as the captain. That's what I'm guessing. Like that lineup that won with Ferguson, I think the exact lineup with Hendershot would have been duplicated fairly high. I haven't gone back to check, but I'm guessing.
I didn't even look at the game. Train. So they were both just a couple punt tight ends, and everybody picked the wrong one, and that guy picked the right one.
They were $200. Yep.
Wow, fucking that's awesome. That's playing the game. The guy that won the college football, the big GPP this last week, I really wanted to find him on Twitter because his lineup was a fucking work of art. It was a work of art, and I wanted to just talk about it and have him on the show. I thought it was so good. Like, he did so much good stuff with it. We don't need to get into that.
Find him.
I mean, I'm pretty lazy, bro. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm a very lazy person. Like, if I stumble across it, if somebody wants to go find him, if you played in the big college football thing and you can find him on Twitter, at me and him, and let's set up a conversation because his lineup was a fucking work of art. Okay. Tragic Natural says, what about Latavius Murray? I'm going to let you have this one, John, because you've already given a wink on this one.
Yeah, I mean, look, his floor is like 0 points. There's a chance he doesn't get on the field at all, that he's totally there just to be a reserve. But there's also a chance that like Melvin Gordon sucks and this neck injury is real and that he gets on the field more than we think. And he's super cheap and the field's not going to own him. So if you're playing you're playing any big field stuff, I think you got to consider Latavius.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, Gordon has bleeping stone hands. Well, that's great because John's whole theory is one drop pass from Gordon, he's getting the fuck out of the game.
I said one fumble.
Okay. Well, stone hands do kind of work hand in hand for both of those things, right?
Yeah, Gordon's fumbled. He's fumbled 4 times already this season, I think it is. So, yeah, he's on a short leash.
All right. Andrew says, women can multitask. We struggle with it for sure. Yeah, I mean, I gave up a long time ago being like, I can multitask. You can't multitask. That's such a myth. They've actually done studies on this. Full fade Williams with Surtain shadowing him. Nick, I've already heard John talk about this, and I didn't really get to give a rebuttal earlier, probably because I was knee-deep in making a lineup. But I feel like good cornerbacks shadowing a player, a receiver, and that's the reason not to play him, I think is the most overblown myth in NFL DFS. I feel like it is so, like there's just so many things that doesn't account for. For instance, like when the wide receiver lines up in the slot or on the other side of the field of the cornerback, or broken plays. There's like a million things that happen that like it's not this guy guarding this guy every play. Or how about this one? It's just a fucking zone. How about that one? They're in zone. They don't run man every play. So I just feel like that's the most overhyped statistic out there.
All right. I mean, I docked Williams in my projections, Nick, so I'm not full fading him, but he only appeared like 7 or 8% in my flex and like 2% in my captain.
Yeah. When Mike Williams' nuts is on Patrick Surtain's head when he's catching a 50-yard touchdown over him, I'm gonna shoot both of you a text message talking shit. All right.
Do.
All right. Nick says he got his shoulder fixed, John.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, right? So he had some procedure to like alleviate swelling and clean out some shit in his shoulder. How the fuck do you then go play? I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know shit about fuck, so don't ask me. But like, that seems very aggressive to go have a procedure done during this bye and have, 7, 8 days, 9 days rest or whatever he had off, to then come back and play. I mean, in theory, people keep saying like, yeah, he's, he should be good to go. You shoot him up, he'll be whatever. But man, my limited medical knowledge feels like you had shit done to scrape shit out of your shoulder 7 or 8 days ago. You're still sore as fuck.
I already know the answer to this. Clearly, you haven't been keeping up with Twitter, but Russell Wilson today tweeted, God is great, or something along those lines. He's got the Lord on his side, so his shoulder can magically heal. Have you not read the Bible? Jesus.
No, but I did see a stupid fucking tweet that was like something about he's Mr. Unlimited, and all I saw was someone else retweeting it saying, what's it called, -4.5 to lock, because it was a dumb fucking video.
Oh, well, I saw Jesse say something like that when he did the God tweet, and Jesse's like, Chargers by 7,000. And I almost hit Jesse back and said 7's the Lord's number, but I didn't go there. I didn't want to. I didn't know if my message was going to be clear. I didn't know if he'd know I was joking. Okay, Bill says I'm fading Gordon completely in single entry. Is Dulcich in the captain spot too risky? Either finishes first or last. What do you think about Dulcich as the captain?
Yeah. So, right. I mean, we saw it work last night, so you definitely can't say it can't work.
What was the final score? What was the final score last night? Because to me, it seems like that works out a lot better in high-scoring games, right?
No, it was a median. I think it was like 20-24, right? Let me see.
Oh, wow. Cowboys came back and made a game of it?
They scored 17 unanswered at one point.
Fuck. Grandpa went to bed early last night. I watched
17-26.
Yeah, I watched the Dragons and passed the fuck out. That's what I did.
Yeah, so they made a game of it, and yeah, like I said, Ferguson captain won. So yeah, Dulcich can definitely be captain. My concern with Dulcich is he is easing into a role, and he's a rookie tight end, which is like historically not a great position fantasy wise. So I'm not going crazy on Dulcich, so I probably wouldn't captain him in single entry. But if you're playing the big field stuff, I have zero problem with it. I think you probably still need to get a little unique, because I think like people will see him as a value, and they'll saw what won last night, and that'll be like thrown in. But no, it's definitely viable.
Can I just quote JohnGaltJD real quick? If I'm playing a single entry, I wouldn't play Dulcich. 10 minutes after he watched me make my single entry with Dulcich in it. Jesus. What is this guy?
Captain him.
Oh, captain. Okay. You saved yourself, sir. You saved yourself. I'm playing him. Hey, Bill. He's in 100% of my lineups. Not as the captain though. Just in the flex. All right. Nick says beautiful notepad usage, John.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Nick's a big notepad guy. So am I. I've got my notepad right here, doodling notes and shit. All right. Relax with TBJ. Nobody big on Everett.
Yeah. So I'm fine with Everett. My concern with Everett is like Parham is back and working into his carries, and so is Trey McKitty. And so you have last week it was like 3-2-1 or whatever was the target share split between them. And yeah, Everett got the 3, but I don't know. I'm worried that like his usage is limited by these other guys. But actually, that said, like I don't mind playing Trey McKitty, and I don't mind playing Parham. They're both going to make my 150 set. So
hey guys, make sure
I've got Everett.
Make sure you're in the league for tonight, right?
Let me get in that.
Yeah. It's to win a free millionaire maker ticket to build with John and I. So make sure you're in there. It's fucking doesn't cost you anything. It's fun. Get in there. All right, good luck beating Aaron. He wins every tournament now.
Yeah, I saw someone said that earlier. We need to beat Aaron.
Yeah. He wins one more, we're disqualifying his ass. Okay.
Hell no. Next time he wins another one, we're going to bump it up to a $100 tournament.
Yeah. Or just start copying his lineups. Be like, Aaron, send us your lineup beforehand. All right.
We're done. We're done building lineups together, Aaron. You're just going to build them, and we're putting them in.
Exactly right. I believe that would be called staking. All right. Bill says, no offense, DGen. That was my lineup exactly when John mentioned the Dulcich news. All right. Well, Bill, don't go put it in the $100 single entry for me, brother. Okay.
Y'all can ship together. Where's the link to this contest? Why can't I find it?
I'm probably going to throw it in the $50 single entry too, and probably the $12, but that's fine. I'm definitely putting it in single entry. Oh, okay. See, now this is the part where we were talking about my lineup here. Could both defenses be in the nuts play if we grind out a slog on primetime game again? Anytime it's a slog, the defenses can not only both be in it, I think they're both like very live to be in it. Probably both over like 30% when you get really low scoring games.
Oh, when you're talking about slog games, like it's very hard for low scoring players to outscore the defenses just because of their built-in cushion. And then you start getting some sacks in a dirty game, a couple turnovers, and maybe a score, whatever. It's like, like you said, it's really hard for them to get outscored. But tonight, I don't necessarily see that. I mean, I think if anyone shuts down anyone, I think we see more of Denver being inept. And so the Chargers defense is at least somewhat interesting. But I'm not playing a ton. I think I've got maybe 3 or 4% in my 150 set Broncos D.
All right, Zach Parker says Palmer season. I mean, I've been waiting on Palmer. Zach, I've been waiting on Palmer to blow up all year. He was like one of my big dudes I thought was going to blow up this year. I'm hoping that the Herbert injuries kind of slowed down his, rise to stardom. But I'm starting to get a little nervous because I thought when Keenan Allen went down, this was going to be fucking the greatest thing ever for him, and it has just not materialized yet. What say you, John?
In my 150 set right now, I have 19% Palmer captain.
Captain?
Yep.
Wow, that's Stonesy. That's Stonesy, brother. Wow, his captain rate's 3.1% according to this. So you're literally playing him at captain 6x the field?
Yep.
Wow. There we go. I think we know how Big John feels about him. Bill says Broncos win 23-17. Okay. Well, if that's the case, you better get fucking McManus in there because you're going to want those 3 field goals. Let's see. Nick says, thoughts on playing both Kelly and Eckler? I see Eckler being used for more passing and Kelly of more of the goal line options. Go ahead, John.
I think you're fine to play together. They're like really expensive, so it's like a more narrow range of outcomes. I would not play either one at the captain in that case with the other. That's like the one rule I wrote is if I'm captaining one, I'm not playing the other at all.
Makes sense. All right, Bill says, I like Boone as captain where Gordon is a fade and not in the lineup.
100%.
Yeah, if you're going to play Boone at captain, there's no way you can play Gordon. I just think that's such a negative EV play. Woody says, 2 kickers and 2 defenses are optimal again tonight. I'm going to puke. Woody, I think you speak for all of us. Nobody wants to see that. But honestly,
such a boring opinion.
But honestly, it's not unfathomable that could happen. Bill says, I agree with Woody. If both kickers and defenses in the Millie Maker lineup, it will cause us all to barf. All right.
And be poor.
Yeah. Revenge narrative. Gordon. This is a Gordon revenge narrative versus the Charger. What are his stats the last few times they've played against each other?
I don't know, actually. I remember one time last season they had a Melvin Gordon return game.
Yeah. Did you ever think it's a revenge game for the Chargers? Maybe they want to fuck him up. Maybe he was a bad teammate and they just shut him down today. All right,
I can't imagine.
Who's both your favorite captains tonight? Well, my favorite captain is Sutton. Cortland Sutton is mine because he's in 100. I played him 100% of captain in all my lineups.
My highest exposed is Eckler, then Palmer.
Wow, ballsy. Let's see. ABA, anybody but Aaron Favre wins tonight. I like that. Aaron, the Broncos have only allowed 1 running back this season to rush more than 75 yards and have allowed 2 rushing touchdowns this season. Those are some interesting stats from Aaron there.
Austin Eckler's not a running back. I mean, he is, but like he's not used as like he's not going to just
not in the traditional not in the traditional sense that those stats would seem to imply.
But that's fine. I mean, bump Eckler down if that's like your feeling. Definitely, I would still keep him in your pool, but just knock his projection a couple.
Yeah, knock him down a little bit, like genetics have. Okay, it was a short joke, everybody. All right. Brett says, did you find out any info on if it is better to roster the kicker from the same team or the other roster as the team's defense? That's a great. I remember us talking about.
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it last time, and I had it on my notes to ask Cody Main, and I didn't ask Cody, but I went back and searched his archive, and I couldn't find anything that he's written about it. So I will send Cody a message, and I'll just ask him straight up.
There you go, bro.
So anyone that doesn't know Cody is like the fucking Showdown guru. He's written more strategy articles about it. You can find his primer just out there. If you type Cody Main Showdown, you probably find it. Or How to Beat Large Field Showdown, I think is the name of it.
This reminds me of like an AP US history when I was a teacher, and the student would ask like a really like crazy random question that no one would ever know, and I'd always say, you know what, I'm gonna go look that up. I'll get back to you. I never onse looked it up.
Well, I have show notes now. I did write it on a notepad last time, but I think I just threw that shit out. But now
never
I have show
once
notes.
did I look that shit up. Okay, it sounds good to say. Like, oh yes, I'm an inquisitive learner too. No, I'm not. Okay.
I care about this shit.
That wasn't supposed to be an indictment on you, John. That was an indictment on me. Okay. Aaron Favre. Denver has allowed just 5 total offensive touchdowns in 2022, which is tied for the fewest in the NFL. I mean, hasn't Denver already had a bye this year?
No, this is first week of buys.
Oh, okay. There you go. Really? Wait, they didn't start buys till week 6 now? When I was a kid, they started that shit week 3. Are you for real? This is the first week of buys?
I'm like 95%. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, there's the Thursday night game, Sunday night game, Monday night game, and they've been having, like 13 games on the main slate, so that sounds right. Fuck me.
Yeah.
All right, Bill says, Broncos, tough to run on, and Surtain shadowing Williams. Seems like the point, Broncos D being a decent play. Broncos have 5 sacks against Indy last game.
I mean, everyone keeps hyping up this Broncos D now. You're going to make me want to bump their projection a little bit because I'm not getting them at all in my sims. But I guess maybe I need to
it seems like everybody's agreeing that the Broncos fucking suck. Or wait, no, they're saying the Broncos D is good. So that makes me just want to go play all Chargers offense because anytime there's a narrative.
You know what, though? What has won the last few showdowns where we've had solo shippers besides last night's has been skill position players of one team against the defense on the other side.
Yep.
And so to the extent you think Denver can get pressure, but that Chargers still score, I think it's actually pretty sharp to go ahead and throw the Broncos in your Hal Palmer captain or your Eckler captain lineups.
All right, guys, last chance for questions. Get in now. Forever hold your peace, child. Should I go ahead and withdraw my lineup, John, now that everybody knows what it is?
I don't know. I mean, if everyone's going to play it in a single entry, but I can't imagine everyone's going to throw it into.
Bill's already copying it. Who do you think will win tonight, and what is your favorite game script? I think that the Broncos win in an upset, and it is that they control the game and look efficient on offense for the first time all year by a score of 27-24.
All right. That's an interesting intro. All right. I think the opposite of that. I think the Chargers show that their offense can beat this defense that everyone seems to think is pretty solid. I think the Chargers sort of have their way on the offensive side of the ball and give up some plays on the defensive side of the ball. So I think you have like a 27-17, 27-20. Who's going to be tonight's John Bates? Was that someone that dies in pregame warm-up and fucks me out of a lot of money? I would say Melvin Gordon, but I'm not playing his dusty ass.
All right, last chance for questions, motherfathers. Who is your favorite prop? Is Wilson's and Herbert over rush yards? My favorite prop is Wilson and Herbert over rush yards. I don't know what those are, Nick. Like, how many yards are we talking here?
Yeah, I don't know what their overs and unders are, but Wilson and Herbert overs. I mean, I guess if you have blitzing teams, you have an opportunity for a quarterback to get a little loose. I don't know. I would assume they both have probably pretty low. I'm guessing like Wilson's is probably 12 or 13, and Herbert's is probably 7 or 8. Probably less than that, probably 6 or 7.
All right, guys. I think that's it. Questions have slowed down. We've went over everybody. We've went over injuries. I think that's it. So Nick said,
hey, whoever asked in the chat about the updated sim, I've run it, and I'll send you the updated leverage. I'll have editor post it for everyone. This is the Broncos roll game script.
All right, guys. I think we're out. I got to go get some shit done before the game. It's been real. Good luck tonight, and we will talk to you later.